Hello, welcome back everybody. This is Twice Abstracts on chapter 243, The Four Knights of the Apocalypse, titled Knights Perplexed. In this video, we'll be discussing the contents of this chapter as well as doing some light character dissections for Gawain and Tristan in proportion to the chapter that is. But before we go any further, I need y'all to like and subscribe. One of the purposes of this video today is to get a bird's eye view and a better understanding of where this chapter fits in with the direction the plot is heading in. Let me know in the comments what you think of this week's chapter. Let's begin. Chapter 243 starts where the previous chapter ended, Issei and Tristan's fight. Maintaining his advantage over his opponent, Tristan grows impatient and warns Issei that he will not hold back if he keeps insisting on making an enemy out of him. Tristan's last attack pummeled Issei, putting him on his back. Issei tries to gather himself in shock as he realizes the Tristan he's fighting is an authentic but younger variation. He tells Tristan that he only showed his demonic force to him once as a child after he persisted in his own curiosity. On his feet now, he no longer has the will to fight and instead rushes Tristan with a hug, calling him father as tears leaves his eyes. If we read between the lines, we're being shown Tristan is a damn good father. In chapter 242, he tells Issei, who at this point is still a confused stranger to him, exactly what he believes and why. To quote it exactly, he says, "The power of a demon is a detested power, one that hurt many other clans in battle. It is also the power of the man I respect, as he shed blood and tears in order to protect the one he loved." End quote. When Issei tells Tristan that he only showed that demonic force just once in his entire life, which I believe Issei is 22 at this current time, it backs up exactly what Tristan just said. I want to take a moment to accentuate why this needs to be assumed. With what little he said, he has shown so much. In that dialogue alone, he demonstrates his maturity with understanding that life can be oppressive and that he has privilege others do not, as well as the desire to spread that gift and use it for the common good. His confirmed actions are what you see in people that value selflessness, resilience, humility, empathy, and patience. These are also the qualities associated with pestilence and conquest, which is fitting for none other than the Knight of Pestilence himself. Next, the chapter resumes Gawain's clash with Lewarch from the Knights of the Holy Grail. After a barrage of magical blasts from Lewarch, Gawain emerges unscathed and heads quickly in her direction to land a blow for own. Lewarch tries to use a counter grapple move, but misses. Gawain taunts her to keep up. Lewarch reminds Gawain that even though she can use her sunshine form to pulverize her, she's using a set of gauntlets that lets her move as fast as the wind to evade her attacks. Gawain simply mocks the magic items, calling them trash. Lewarch says that the magic items were given to her by her mother so that she'd be protected, and for that she will not tolerate the disrespect. Gawain responds with an empathetic apology before declaring that despite it all, her pride as a knight of famine is on the line. Gawain switches her method of combat and lands a critical blow on Lewarch, ending the fight. Gawain appears before Lewarch, closely resembling the mother Lewarch knows and remembers. She reveals how she landed that last blow and credits the fight with Lewarch for the inspiration for the maneuver. Lewarch, seemingly not listening to all that, cannot believe that it really is Gawain, her adoptive mother. She doesn't hesitate further to show her affection for Gawain because clearly Gawain followed her to ensure her safety on this current mission her and the other Knights of the Holy Grail are on. The end of the skirmish is most notable for two reasons. It showcases Gawain's growth as a mage and a combatant, as well as the revelation of what could be her greatest desire, motherhood. First, let us discuss the former. Gawain's last attack couldn't be more impressive. Using her comprehension of spells, she came up with a strategy to allow her to win the battle on the spot. And not just that she actively learned from her opponent, but she also adjusted accordingly, turning the threat into the solution. We haven't seen this from Gawain yet, since before she was arguably the weakest knight of the four, known for her lack of use of her potential and low battle IQ. Now, however, she's not just taken a next step forward in her own strength, but now she's shown this innovative side of her, as well as staying composed enough to consider strategy when fighting. This is understatedly well done by Gawain. Now, let's address that latter. What does Gawain desire? After discovering her maternal ties, she's since embraced her attachment to her parents. Throughout the latest chapters, she has characteristically become a reflection of that bond. Even though she's rumored to be in love with Balin or have some sort of crush on him, Lewark is living proof that she decides to adopt regardless of what her love life is. So regardless if she ends up with a man or a woman, whichever one you ship or care for, to me or to everyone, this should be proof that Gawain wants to be a mother regardless of what happens. And I think the best way to ensure that is to adopt. Lilywark seems to be the embodiment of every version of Gawain we have seen so far, just reading these chapters through. Moving on from there, we get this panel where it's Issei, it's Gawain, it's Tristan, it's Percival, it's Cardes, it's Lohengrin, Lewark. They're all together. They're all having some chatter because they're all like, wow, like it's a family. Like they're all making these comments. Everyone's confused. They're all talking it out. But we're forgetting about two people. And in a later video, the two most important people to the plot, I'd even argue. That's Lancelot and that's Galahad. Now, Issei tells Galahad to quit it. And what he says next is what I believe to be something really important. It's the fact that he could never beat Lancelot and that Lancelot will do more than just hurt you. Now, everything that Tristan experienced with that fight with Issei and Gawain to Lewark and Percival to his own two children were foreshadowed events or foreshadowing what their characters shape out to be. For people like Tristan, his current beliefs that were formed through his own experiences and his own outlook on what his life meant has been backed up and proven by his very own son. And here we have Lancelot, who we know is mentally unraveling, and we're just being led to believe that he could be a very abusive, a very oppressive guy. But in this fight, it's actually Galahad who gets the last laugh as he uses some move, some ability called Dark Penetrate, which catches Lancelot off guard and drops him off of a tree branch, seemingly to his death, with Galahad saying, you see, he was a fake all along, because there's no way that the real Lancelot would lose to him. But anyways, that's going to wrap up the review for chapter 243. There's way too much to say about Lancelot and Galahad. That could be its own separate video that I do plan on putting out at some point, but I'm trying to keep up with these weekly chapters. There's plenty of discussion surrounding the latest chapters as well outside of all of that, and potentially the upcoming ones as well. We're getting to the real meat of this plot. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. In the future, I'm dropping more videos just like this one, as I just said. So take care of yourselves. Thank you.